Welcome back.
Hey, it's good to be back. In
Yes, it
front
is.
and left and right, as a matter of fact.
Yep. You are back, and we're almost at the 1 year anniversary of when we started. Next week
Yeah,
marks.
I know. How crazy is that?
It went by quick.
It did. It
And
did.
you all,
Well, we almost didn't have our 1 year anniversary.
I know.
We're close to it.
So let's start for those who don't know me, right? So you had an incident, and we're going to hear all about it. And there's a lot of just like it's just so happens some other stuff was going on that kind of relates to that. We'll talk about that in a bit. So Dave, we've been off for a couple weeks. Why were we off? What happened?
So, if anybody doesn't know, and my friends that have reached out to me, I truly am blessed and appreciate all the words. I had a heart attack. It wasn't at an event. I actually had a week off. My son's car broke down. Went to, you know, growing up, being a teenager in the '80s, dating myself. Um, it was no problem in pushing a car, and if you ever broke down or something like that, and I didn't think about it. And my son's car broke down. Went went to go help him fix it. We got it limping along, and then it broke down again, and dad wanted to push it into a parking spot, and we did it. And hey, Danny. And it was yeah, I had a heart attack, and thank God I'm here. The doctors were amazing. It happened nowhere close to where I live. It was actually 2.5, almost 3 hours away from where I actually live. And yeah, it's crazy. You gotta have a plan. I mean, in the when I was in the ambulance, among the many things that were running through my head during this heart attack was, oh my God, I don't have a plan set up. If something happens to me, what am I going to do? Uh, and like I said, it's amazing all the things you think about at that time. And so, because my wife didn't have like my passwords for things, and she had access to my calendar because
Yeah.
I keep a regular calendar as well as my online booking calendar. But if something had come through that I didn't transfer from the one to the other, it would have been horrible.
And it's a lot. I mean, it's not just passwords to your computer. I mean, let's take this outside of just like the business, right?
Sure. Yep.
Passwords to the bank account, passwords to emails, passwords to everything, right?
Exactly.
And then events coming up, password to Honeybook because you use Honeybook, right?
I
Or
use
Boothbook.
no, I use Boothbook.
Boothbook, yeah, passwords to that. Like,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
just,
So it was so crazy. Now, thank God, I was out in a couple days. They put a stent in my heart, and I'm going to be on medication the rest of my life, which I'm good with. You
yeah.
know, because it beats the other outcome.
Hmm.
Um, and I've realized that I need to de-stress my life a little bit. You know, maybe not do as many events as I normally do myself or whatever, and turn more over to staff.
Yeah.
Being happy to be able to just run the business. I think
Hmm.
it's I, there's a lot that I do. I'm very hands on with stuff. I like to do events. I enjoy doing events, even though I have staff that run events themselves. Um, you know, you got to take a step back. Hey, Bill, thank you. You're right. Stress is stress is a killer, and it almost killed me, but luckily it didn't. Um, I've changed my life. I mean, I'm exercising now. I'm eating healthy. Now it's only been a couple weeks, like 3 weeks.
Well, you look like you've lost a little bit.
I'm trying. I'm actually down about 15 pounds.
Wow.
Um,
It's a shitty diet. The heart
you know
attack
what?
diet.
I found, my wife's like, we're changing everything,
Yeah.
how we eat, every little nuance. And, we went out, spent tons of money on food, and, you know, some of it, we bought all this extra stuff and, fresh fruits and things like, and vegetables. And, we wound up throwing some of it away because we didn't get to it in time. So, um, some of the medication I'm on, I get out of breath really easy right now.
Okay.
But the doctor says that that'll go away as my body gets used to the medications and things like that. Um, so yeah, I mean, I'm on the Mediterranean diet right now, which is a lot of fruits and vegetables and
Mhm.
and
Olive
things like
oils,
that.
good
Great
stuff,
olive oils,
nuts.
non-white greens, things like that. And I'm not hungry
Hmm.
all the time. I mean, we have tons of. I've got kids here, and I've got tons of junk food, and I'm
Yeah.
just looking at it now, saying, "Nah, I'll grab an apple or a banana, or grab some grapes or something like that, and eat that." But the one thing that I did do in the past couple weeks was put together an emergency packet, and that's what I wanted to kind of talk about tonight a little bit.
Hmm.
Is a lot of people never consider something like this happening to them, and I never did, obviously. And I got lazy and I realized that I needed to put together an emergency box.
Okay.
So in that, I have all my passwords. I have all my contact information for subcontractors that I use. People do white label,
Smart.
um, and um, customers that I have. I'm now creating a non-digital copy of all of my customers. So, it's nice. It's nice that I have everything digital now where I can just go in and print everything out. Um, but I'm keeping the hard copy just in case.
And you have a full
So,
time job as well on top of this.
yeah, yeah. But that's, that luckily that's not that stressful of a job. So I don't worry about that.
Hmm.
You know, this is hauling equipment around and things like that, setting up, between the DJ systems, the photo booth systems, and things like that. That's really where the stress is. I mean, my normal job, IT stuff isn't bad at all. So
Yeah.
you know, sitting, working behind a monitor on stuff.
But
But you know
that's,
what that's like because
I do. It's
you do it too.
all day long.
Um, but I mean, I just want people to realize that you should um, remember to first off say I love you to your spouse or your loved ones or that person because you never know what's going to happen. I mean, I never expected that to happen to me, and I'm thankful it happened when it did because I was within 2.5 hours, and I'm one of the lucky ones. I consider myself. Within 2.5 hours, I was from where I was at to the hospital and through the hospital in a room, um, and awake and was ready to go home.
That's
You know,
crazy.
it was so crazy, and I was surprised that everything happened the way it did. It was crazy to happen to begin with, but now that it's over and done with, I can look back on it and say I just can't believe it. I mean, it's amazing the medical system that we have today. Um, you know, doing what they do. Now, I only had one stent put in, There
Hmm.
was no bypass or anything like that that was needed. But I was 100% blocked
Did you
when it
tell
happened.
everybody how they did it too? It's amazing.
Yeah, they actually. I was surprised when I got into the emergency room. The nurse gets out one of these little electric razor kind of things, and she goes, "We're going to do some manscaping." And I'm like, "Look, you just do whatever you need to do. I'm good." So they shaved my arms, and I thought that was weird. And then they shaved other areas, but we can't say that because YouTube will probably flag us and kick us off for good.
You can talk about shaving
They
your earlobes.
actually went through. I have a little dot right here on my wrist. They actually went through my wrist all the way in up to my heart and put the stent in. And like I said, it was within an hour, hour and a half that I was in and through the procedure. I guess
Oh
it was
man,
crazy.
yeah. I mean, back in the day, they would have like opened up your chest and got those
Yeah.
things and pried it apart.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I need to. This was inspiring for me too. Like just hearing this, and I think about every once in a while. I turn 50 next week, and I'm not
Mhm.
getting any younger, so my body doesn't act the way that it used to. So
Right.
I've been proactively, trying to get a walk in every day, no matter what the temperature is. If it's nice
Yep.
and going swimming, walking the dog. I hear you've got a dog over there, so I'm hoping you're taking a dog for a walk, right?
Getting out for walks is a big thing. I'm not. I don't sit for any, you know, long period of time. I try and get up and do as many steps, now as I can,
Yeah.
no matter where I'm at. When I get home, my wife and I go out for a walk.
Hmm.
Um, after we eat, and
It's
it's a
good.
change.
It's good to get some
It's a
fresh
change.
air.
It is good. It is good. And it's. I've learned that from talking to the doctors and things like that you don't have to. He explained this to me, and I did a lot of research in the past couple weeks. Is a lot of people want to just kind of rush for things, and like overdo things.
Yeah.
And the doctor's like, listen, you go at your own pace.
Hmm.
Take your time. You
One
know,
step at a time, one meal at a
yeah,
time.
one step in front of the other, as one of my favorite movies as a kid used to say. I think it was like one of those
Fred
Santa Claus.
Astaire,
Santa Claus. I was like, yeah, I think it was one of those not Hanna
Casablanca. I don't know.
Barbera Raskin ones,
Yeah.
you know. But I always just found it amusing. Um, but yeah, getting back to our topic. If you don't have people to cover events in an emergency, now is the time when you
Yeah.
should put together a list. Luckily, I am so blessed that I have so many friends that
Yeah.
have offered to they said, Dave, if you need a hand, just call me. I'll come from another state and help you if you need. And I've got tons of local friends too. So I mean, but the outpouring from our industry, from people that I barely know that are offering to help, and the words of encouragement and things like that. Uh,
It's
it's just
amazing how
I
that works.
so grateful for it. Sorry, my old dog is
Your
barking at
dog
nothing.
is echoing every word that you're saying. Yes, yes. Walk, walk. Let's go for a walk.
Exactly.
Oh, something similar. I mean, even like that's a big event, right? But plan also for the smaller things too.
Sure.
Today, I went to go get chemicals and whatnot for my pool, and my car didn't start after I got it.
Right.
And I'm thinking to myself, all right, like if I had an event to go to today, what would I do in this situation? Right? I've got a van, I've got a certain amount of equipment that will fit into a van. What is my backup plan? Especially if that would have happened, let's say like 5 o'clock when everything's closing down. Then what do you do? Not that
Right.
I really wouldn't be leaving for an event at 5 o'clock because I'm always like midday. Um, but what do you do? Do I
Right.
U-Haul, Uber? right? Those things are like popping through my
So,
head.
so one of the things that I've done is I've purchased like AAA
Uh-huh.
for my vehicles because they'll tow up to. We got the premium one. It costs a little bit more, but they'll tow you up to 200 miles. So if you do break down,
Have them
you
tow
can
you to
get
the
towed.
event,
They could tow you to the event, yeah.
and then what do you do
But
after?
I would also, call an Uber,
Yeah.
um, you know, EX or whatever it is, and
Uh-huh.
have them come and get you.
Yeah.
So, being prepared is what we're trying to get at today.
Uh-huh.
Um, having a backup plan. Leaving early enough for your event. That if you do get a flat tire or something like that, that you're still ahead of time. I show up to my events super early, but that's what I do.
Yeah.
Some people like to cut it short because they're like, well, I can set it up and tear it down in a few minutes.
Yeah.
So,
I think getting
um,
there is the big problem. Like I don't care if my car gets stuck there at the event because I can always make some kind of deal with the venue, take an Uber home, say, look, this is the deal. My car's stuck here. Can I come pick
yep,
up tomorrow, whatever?
yep.
But if
And
you're,
most venues, if you explain it to them, they're going to be okay with it. You coming to get it, and
yeah,
rather than leaving it on the side of the road with thousands of dollars of equipment in it,
hmm
call one of these, tow truck companies and have it towed to the venue or whatever.
yeah,
Um, and then worry about it after the event.
hmm
The object is to, take care of your customers and get paid, because if you have to refund that money, um, Bill, that really sucks.
You had your car repossessed at a gig in my 20s. Bill,
Wow.
wow. Repo Man showed up. I hope the equipment was not in the car at the time, right? That would have been a double whammy. We'll wait for
We've all
that.
done stupid stuff in our 20s.
Oh my
I've
God.
probably come close to it
Yeah,
myself.
I think that's everybody in their 20s. Something like that is
Yeah.
crazy has happened. We're all dumb in our 20s.
Listen, I've been pulled over on my way to events. I've been pulled over after on my way home from events.
Oh my God.
Y- you know.
What,
Uh,
what are you doing to get pulled over, Dave? Below red lights, speeding really fast, or you just drive one of those shady vehicles?
no, no. I mean, I years ago I used to drive a big blue Chevy van.
It
That
said
I
free
could
candy on
load.
it.
Yeah, free candy. It said free candy on the side, and I guess the cop just wanted a candy bar. That's why he pulled me over. But no, I had myself and two assistants. It was in the middle of winter. This was, one of the times, and I'm up in the Poconos. It's snowing,
Hmm
and I'm on like a road where I don't know, because it's not really GPS. You know, we really didn't have Waze or Google
Yeah.
Maps
Oh my
back
God.
then. That's how far back it was,
Hmm
and I missed a turn and I pulled over to the side of the road, and I guess the state cop saw me pulled over and pulled up behind me, and then saw him in a van with two other people, and
That's trouble.
it looked shady. It really did, But he asked if he could search the car. I said sure. I looked at both of my assistants that night. I said, listen, if either one of you have anything, I said, I swear I'll kill you. They'll find your body on the side of the
Oh
road
my
here.
God.
Which luckily they did, but we just made a joke out of it. And the cop was really cool. They ran the dog around the outside of the car. Not Didn't find anything. Let us back in, and away we went. But it was kind of funny.
That's great. So we need to like I think that's something that we should write up. Not to put anything on you, Dave, but this
Right.
experience I think could go a long way if there was just like a bullet point list
Mhm.
of things that you think like the top 20 things that should be covered in case you kick the bucket, right?
Right.
Like that you should
Yep.
have as a backup plan. I don't know, maybe more than 20. I don't know. Let's you and I work
Yeah.
on that together. We'll publish something.
Yeah. We'll get something. We'll get something up on the websites, and
Yeah.
up on our face in the Facebook groups and things like that.
Yeah, and we should put the question out on both Photo Booth Magazine and Photo Booth Network Facebook groups, and we'll let people chime in. Maybe we can combine it all and just compile it into one little story for everyone.
Right. Well, and it's something that everybody can learn from, and I'm always about helping people, not go through something that I've gone through.
Yeah. Well, we're glad you're here. Blessing in disguise. You got through what, 2.5 hours? You said, is that what it was? This whole process.
Yeah, two and a half, 3 hours roughly.
Life changing. We have another question that came in. Let me see what we got here. Off topic. I'm a full-time DJ, but added a Max Design photo booth switch curator, and today I finally got my wireless DNP 620 working. Congratulations, that's awesome. I guess it's not a question, but yeah, it's a good combo right there. The 620s, 620As, they're now available.
Yes, many suppliers, from what I've heard, through the little pass down the road, there was a huge shipment that came in across the country that not just a couple, but several of the major suppliers got a boatload of 620s.
Yep, and
But
those, I'll say that, like, the DNP RX1 HS, I have 5 of those, right? I think I'm going to have to get one of those 620s, because every time I see one, they're just smaller, a little bit lighter. I think, are they a little bit lighter? Was it just more like, or was it just the design just makes all the weight like compact?
Well,
because the RX1's kind of,
it's a little bit longer than an RX1, but it's about half the height. The 620, I love mine. They're super fast.
Yeah.
I mean, they're literally, like, I want to say over twice as fast as an RX1.
Just twice as fast?
I think they're twice as fast, easily.
Okay. All right. I was talking to Johnny V out of Philadelphia today on the phone. He was like, yeah, it's maybe a couple seconds faster. So, but you know who would really know? Bill.
Yeah.
And Rex. I think Rex might have done a side-by-side comparison.
I think he did. But if you go on actually Imaging Spectrum's website, their blog.
They have one.
I believe Bill actually did a speed comparison between a bunch of the more popular printers out there.
You're right. There is, and I'd have to find it. On their blog is like a side-by-side comparison of like all the different kinds.
Yep.
Gosh, what would it be called?
Danny just posted 8.1 seconds for on this first print for 4x6 for the 620. It seems faster, I will say. If it says 8.1 seconds, I think mine was probably around 5 or 6 seconds.
Yeah, but
I think
the RX1's about 15, so that is about half.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to find. I did post it up at some point, but there is a comparison chart. That's all of them on there.
And like I said, it's a good printer. It's, if anybody's looking for a fast one, the 620 is the way to go.
Yeah, I got 5 of these big honking things, but they're great. But I would like a little more compact printer.
Yeah, it's nice. They fit well, because I have the Danny Max booths as well as some other ones, and they fit really well, and they feel sturdy.
They do
when they're on the printer stand.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, and I got to see the I was at the Max Design booth at DJ Expo in Atlantic City. Was it last week?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it was last week.
Yeah, it was last week.
It was last week.
And it just.
I wasn't able to go. I don't know why. Oh, that's right. We do know why.
The place where it all started, and you had to go get yourself a heart attack.
Yeah.
But the expo was good. I would say, in all, the DJ Expo in Atlantic City had less attendees, I think, than last year. It seemed,
really?
maybe a little bit less. Yeah, it definitely seemed like there was a little bit less, but I would say like the caliber of people that showed up were like your top tier people, right? There wasn't a
Mm,
lot of tire kickers and some newbies there, but it seemed like it was more knowledgeable folks that were there.
right.
Um,
Well,
they
I heard a lot of the seminars were really good.
Yeah, I didn't get a
Um,
chance to go to any of those because I was at the Max Design booth like the whole time.
right,
Except I left early on Wednesday. I'm a big
right.
quitter.
I did. I heard there were only a couple photo booth vendors there.
There was Max Design,
Right.
Moby booth,
Hmm.
and ATA. Oh wait, and then Zentek was there too. So
Right.
technically four.
Zentek had their 360 and their mix. I think they had a couple
Yep.
booths there.
And Shane, our buddy Shane, was doing his turnkey photo booth, curved DSLR from Max Design. He was doing that part of the Max Design, but then he also came through for Zentek. So their platform broke. Zentek's
Oh,
360 platform. Shane to the rescue, made a couple calls and had somebody drive like 2 hours to deliver one of their own to the
right.
expo. So again,
Yeah,
the,
that's a true professional right there.
that's the photo booth in it. Like a DJ, like I DJ, you DJ, but I'll tell you what, not a lot of cool, situations like that would happen in the DJ world. They'd be like, you're SOL. But Shane, went out of his way, found another
Mhm.
boother who had the same platform, had it driven down there. That is freaking awesome.
Right.
That's like the photo booth industry camaraderie right there.
It is. It really is. I'm sure because Zentek's from Europe,
Hmm.
um,
They
you
weren't
know,
having, yeah.
it's not like they had one handy here. So
Hopefully,
um,
Shane's earned himself a free platform out of that.
that that would be nice. I doubt it, but that would be
Yeah, no, I'm
nice.
kidding. That's just you just do that because that's what you do, which
I
is all.
heard there was like one sign, like prop
There
sign,
was
Red
Red
Max
Max.
Events. I
Let me
think that was
see.
Red Max Events. That's Brand. I think that's Brandon. Is it Brandon Hollowell?
Hold on. Red Max photo booth props. Where are they? Oh, here we go. Yeah, let me pull this up. So that would be these guys right here.
Right.
They didn't have a whole lot. I thought it was kind of cool that there was a prop company there because there usually isn't a prop company
No,
at the DJ
and
Expo.
that's the thing is, a lot of the DJs that go there have photo booths, and I think, yeah, Brandon. It is Brandon Harvar, whatever. I always mispronounce his last name, but I've
Hmm.
known Brandon since he started photo booths and had long conversations with him. He's pretty awesome. But
Yeah,
yeah, I mean,
I didn't realize it. I'm standing there at the booth, and this guy walks across the floor with a prop. I'm like, where did that come from? He's like, yeah, there's a prop company right over there. I'm like, so it was the big donut, and I love big food props in the
yep,
photo, and so does every guest. Like that's the first thing that they grab,
yep,
and it was a unique prop. It was this one here, if you can see it. It's the donut with the bite out of it.
yep.
I wanted it, and they only brought two to the whole show. It's like, how do you only bring two of those to the show? You brought two.
Right,
It's like Willy Wonka the Chocolate Factory. 200.
right.
Wait, just two chocolate bars. Just two donuts. That's all you brought? Oh, but it was.
I think they didn't realize how popular they would be, um, at the expo. So
Yeah, I think next year, if there's a prop company that does decide they want to make a trek out there, we've got these guys, just a bunch, everybody and the mother sells them. I think, you would actually do half decent there as a
I,
prop.
I I know. Well, I
Shooting
know
fish in a
like Rhode
barrel.
Island Novelty and Windy City. Typically they
Yeah,
have the not the cheap, the cheaper ones. I mean,
it's the cheaper
I
stuff.
think some of the ones that exhibit at PBX definitely have a higher quality, um, you know, uh, product, and it would be amazing. Even backdrop manufacturers,
Mm. I didn't realize
Um,
someone's saying that they were there last year, Red Max. I didn't notice it. Shows
yeah,
you how much
I
effort it
don't
goes in.
remember seeing them last year. I was at the expo last year because that's when Art approached me about doing this whole photo booth magazine thing.
Yeah, you big dummy, you sucker.
Listen, we did it, and we've done a ton of shows, so that
Yeah,
we must be doing something because there's people still commenting every week.
it's a free master class for all of us every week, or at least a practice
It
session,
is
or mental therapy. You
right.
take your pick. But
And
yeah,
speaking of classes, don't forget there's still I believe 5 or 10 seats open for the chit chat thing in Dallas
yep,
next
right
month.
here, the retreat,
Yep,
Sharon.
yep. So we want to say hello to Sharon, and you know, I know that's going to be really popular.
Yeah,
I think that'll be she should definitely sell out on that easily.
yeah. And for
So
those who
because
are interested, you go to chitchatphotobooth.com. Like if you want to
right,
go to Dallas, that's where you're going to go. So
yep.
address is right there on the screen.
So I just wanted to
Um,
drop that out there, because I'm always big about sharing any learning that's going on out there.
mhm.
Um, and this is something that I think a lot of people can learn some information and level up your business a little bit more. That's what it's about.
It seems like there's a lot more of these micro expo slash learning opportunity events happening across the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
One recently was Rex. He put one on.
Rex did one, I think, last week with out in California for the
Yep.
local people.
Let's see if I can find it
Um,
here.
I
This is
think you and I are need to put something together for here in the Philly area.
we should definitely have something in the Philadelphia area. Philly
Yep.
needs one. I know that Super Boothers or right didn't they do it like
Yep.
a small one?
Well, Ryan Salinas
Yeah,
from
Lance
Super
Williams.
Boothers
Mm-hmm.
actually did one here in Philly for the 360, and he that was limited to so many people, and
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately I had an event that day, but I wanted to attend. But I know some of our friends that were local
Oh, we got our first
would
sponsor. Danny said he'd sponsor a Philly event. Boom, done. All right, Dave, that's going to be our project. Let's put
yep,
together the Photo Booth Magazine East Coast event.
that sounds good. I'm up for
Okay.
it. Let's do it.
All right, born right here, live on
All right.
YouTube, Facebook, whatever we're on. Seriously, yeah,
All
we'll,
the
we'll, we'll
above.
we'll chat about it.
Yep.
But yeah, this
We'll
is
start.
this is Rex's crowd at his
Yep.
event. That's pretty impressive.
That's very
For
impressive.
just, and I don't know how long he's been planning it, but I just kind of got caught wind of it like within a couple weeks, and then it happened. It kind of came and went pretty quickly. But it
Right.
looks like it was a good turnout. But cool. So that's awesome. So something else came good out of this night is we might have to start working on possibly putting together some kind of event.
I think we should.
But
I think
you're supposed to be not stressing out though, Dave. So we don't want to
I
add more
won't
to the
stress
pile.
out about it. I got you to help me to stay calm. So
Goose rubber.
that's it.
Cool.
So what do
Um,
you got coming up this weekend, Art?
this weekend I got a whole lot of nothing by
Really?
design. Yeah, I
Okay.
didn't want to take anything. The kids are still home from school.
Okay.
Um, I'm going over to my brother's house because my nephew is getting engaged. They're gonna have an engagement party. Go enjoy that. My kids are at STEM camp next week. It's called Fab Lab. They all like 3D
Right.
printing and robotics and all that kind of stuff. And then they're back to school. My first event back is September 9th, and that's a wedding.
Very good.
Actually, no, I
Very
take
good.
that back. My first event back is actually September 6th. I just booked that today. That's a combination of the Curve Duo. So I'm doing a photo booth with the Max Design Curve Duo, and I'm
Right.
combining that with SketchBots.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. So
Again, you're doing the
again,
sketch bots again. Well,
it's
the
growing.
technology IC is really good on those now.
It's
I
going.
saw like the updated version, and
It looks
I was
good.
very impressed. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to shoot some video during that and showing how we can combine two different products to make a really cool experience for. This is a corporate client. So this is like a boutique eyeglass wear shop that wants to have it there to kind of like promote a little bit of the business and create some
very
excitement
cool.
around it. And then they're going to have it again. So this is the first one
Right.
that we're doing with them. Yeah.
I have an event Friday night. It's a back to the disco birthday party.
Oh, that
So
sounds like fun.
we're doing the 360, the photo booth, and DJ.
Okay.
So we're gonna be rocking that one out.
So what year did you say back to the what?
Back to the disco.
You got a disco ball?
I do.
There you
I
go.
have. Actually have several. And I have like the one I have. I think is 36 inches around, 32 inches around.
That'll do.
It's massive. I haven't
What do you do with a
put
big
it out for an event in a long time.
how do you
I'm
handle
ready.
I've never handled a disco ball at an event. I've never done. And when you have one
Uh-huh.
that's really huge like that, how are you setting that up? Like what are you doing? What
So
are you handling the lighting?
it's going to be on a lighting tripod.
Okay.
Um, and I have a heavy duty motor for it because it's heavy. And the motor is actually DMX controlled, so like the speed and the back and forth and everything like that.
Okay.
So
Let's see. Bill says he's using a photo booth with a printer for the first time.
excellent, Bill.
Hey,
That's what
check it
it's
out.
about, man. You learn your tools and get it out there and in the real world, and make that money.
Yeah, that's it. And that's something else I want to talk about before we end the show is like some of the plans that we've got. So I've been thinking about another a segment to do with the show would be add-ons, right? So
Mhm.
DJs are always adding things on, and so are photo boothers. So maybe once every other show or something, we're going to highlight an add-on or an upsell that a
Sure.
photo booth company can do.
Mhm. Sure. And I've got several that I have, so that'll be a good topic for a show.
Yeah, or
And listen,
combining
if anybody,
products.
the other thing for all of our viewers, um, if you have an idea for a show or you'd like to be a guest on one of our shows, please reach out to Art or myself, and we'd love to get you set up and get you on the show. And we're looking for regular boothers as well as manufacturers or different products, things like that.
Yeah,
We want to highlight people in our industry,
yeah.
and even
We've had DJs on. We've had Alan Berg, who's not even in the industry. He's just a
right.
speaker. So we would love
We
to come
had
back on.
we
That'd be
also
fun.
had Mike Walters, or Mike
Yeah,
Walter. Sorry, I add that S by accident so many times. Um, he actually did an episode where we talked about when the IRS or local state decides to come after you for.
and he's got a follow up to that. And we promised him we would get him back on to talk about that.
Yep, yep, we have to.
So we'll have some repeat customers, repeat guests on the
Yep,
show, and
yep,
I think that was Clay. We'll get Clay back on.
yep.
We'll get everybody back on.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we're always looking for people, and luckily we both have a lot of friends out there in the industry.
Yep.
Um, to help sponsor us and keep us going and keep stuff moving. And obviously, believe it or not, Art and I don't make anything off of any of these sponsorships or anything else. So you know we're doing this because we want to share what we know and learn.
Mhm.
And the comments every week are amazing. We have so many questions, and we try to answer them all. So if you have a topic that you'd like to see us address, please reach out to one of us.
Yeah.
We'll be
No,
glad to.
And not that we wouldn't take a sponsorship at some point.
Absolutely not. No.
Yeah, I think this year we're gonna have to start taking on some sponsorships. I got my bill for
Yeah.
just the platform that we're using to make all this. It's like
Yep.
$400 a year.
Yeah.
So I'm 800 in the hole, folks. But that's okay. Again, this is like a master class for us. So this is learning. This is having fun.
That's it.
Yeah, it is what it is.
We're here. We're sharing. We're doing our thing. If somebody gets one piece of information out of something we discuss and it helps you better yourself, I consider it well worth it. So,
It was worth it.
wow, look at that! Nice drop at the right time too.
Yep. So, well, all right. Well, anything else before we wrap it up tonight, Dave? Anybody have some questions out there? We're gonna open up the floor or keep the floor closed. I don't really care. Good. Well, we've got some stuff planned up. I'm glad you're back, Dave. You and I will talk over the next couple of days because, again, I
Yep.
have no events. You've got one, but I have none. And we'll have some plans coming up for the next coming year. And next week, we'll celebrate our 1 year anniversary.
Next week already?
Already. It's
Oh,
here.
we got it. We definitely have to have a good show then.
Yeah. We'll have some
We have
fun.
to get a special guest.
All right. All right. Well, let's talk offline, and then
Yep.
we'll hit it up next week. So everybody, we'll see you next week. Dave.
Remember to practice and have a good time and learn and love what you do. And remember to say I love you to somebody.
That's
Because
right.
I love you.
We love you, Dave. All right. Bye, guys. See you next week.
See you, everybody.